It was supposed to be just another halftime show. A few songs, some lights, a quick spectacle before the second half of the biggest football game of the year. But within minutes, it turned into something much bigger. By the time the stadium lights faded and the confetti settled, people weren't talking about touchdowns anymore. They were arguing about culture, language, politics, and what America is even supposed to look like on its biggest stage. Somehow, one performance managed to split millions of viewers right down the middle. The night already carried pressure. The Super Bowl isn't just sports anymore. It's a global broadcast, a cultural checkpoint that reaches nearly every household. Every halftime performer knows the stakes. One wrong move and you're trending for all the wrong reasons. One bold move and you make history. This year, the spotlight belonged to Bad Bunny, a global superstar known for breaking records, packing stadiums, and proudly performing almost entirely in Spanish. From the second his name was announced, fans expected energy. Critics expected controversy, and honestly, both sides were right. The music hit hard immediately. Heavy drums, tight choreography, a wave of dancers flooding the field. It didn't feel polished in a corporate way. It felt alive, like a street party suddenly dropped into the middle of the stadium. The camera bounced between the stage and the crowd, and you could feel the atmosphere through the screen. This wasn't designed to be safe or neutral. It was loud, colorful, and unapologetic. Every beat leaned into Latin rhythms. Every lyric stayed true to his roots. For some viewers, it was refreshing. For others, it was already too much. Then came a moment nobody expected. Right there on the field, in front of tens of thousands of fans and millions watching at home, a real couple got married live during the performance. No gimmicks, no actors. A genuine wedding ceremony in the middle of the show, with the artist signing as a witness. It felt surreal, almost cinematic, like reality bending for a second. Some people called it beautiful. Others called it bizarre. But everyone noticed, and in live television, being unforgettable is everything. The surprises kept stacking. Massive set pieces rolled in. A house structure appeared out of nowhere. At one point, he literally crashed through the ceiling, sending debris flying like something out of an action movie. Then the cameos started. Huge stars popping in for quick duets, each one creating another shockwave across social media. The kind of moments that get clipped and replayed 1,000 times before the show is even over. By the final minutes, the performance had turned into pure spectacle. And just when it seemed like it couldn't get bigger, the closing message appeared on screen. A simple line about love being stronger than hate. Short, direct, almost too simple, but it lingered in the air long after the music stopped. Coverage of the performance and its symbolism quickly spread across entertainment outlets. And that's when everything exploded. Because within hours, the reaction wasn't just about music anymore. It became political. Donald Trump publicly blasted the show, calling it absolutely terrible and criticizing the mostly Spanish-language performance, saying viewers couldn't understand it. That single response changed the story overnight. Suddenly, this wasn't just a halftime show, it was a cultural battleground. News channels picked it up, commentators jumped in, social media lit up. What started as entertainment turned into a national argument. Supporters fired back fast. They said the performance was long overdue representation. They argued that millions of Americans speak Spanish, love Latin music, and deserve to see themselves on that stage too. For them, the show wasn't controversial at all. It was historic, a moment of pride, a celebration of identity, something that felt authentic instead of manufactured. They pointed out that music has always crossed language barriers and that emotion doesn't need subtitles. But critics weren't convinced. Some said the Super Bowl should feel universal, not cultural or political. Others claimed the message felt forced, and that divide kept growing louder. Sports radio shows debated it, comment sections exploded, even former athletes started weighing in publicly. You could almost feel the country splitting into two separate conversations, both watching the same performance but seeing completely different meanings. Then, something even stranger happened. Instead of just complaining, a group decided to create their own alternative. Turning Point USA launched a rival all-American halftime stream at the exact same time, featuring artists like Kid Rock. Viewers who didn't want to watch the official show simply switched streams. Millions tuned in to the alternative broadcast instead. Think about that for a second. One of the few events that used to unite everyone, halftime, suddenly had two completely separate audiences. Same night, same game, totally different realities. And maybe that's the most fascinating part of this whole story. It wasn't just about whether the performance was good or bad. It revealed something bigger about how fragmented everything has become. People don't just disagree anymore, they leave. They pick different feeds, different creators, different worlds that match what they already believe. The halftime show didn't just entertain, it exposed how divided the audience really is. Even the surprise guest appearances added fuel to the fire. Big names like Lady Gaga and Ricky Martin reportedly popped up during the set, creating instant viral moments and giving the show even more star power. For fans, it felt legendary. For critics, it felt like overload. But either way, the internet couldn't stop talking about it. And that's the thing. Love it or hate it, the performance worked. Because the worst thing a halftime show can be is forgettable. This one was anything but. It sparked debates at dinner tables, it filled timelines, it created memes, think pieces, and reaction videos within minutes. In today's media world, attention is currency, and this show practically broke the bank. By the next morning, people weren't even mentioning the final score of the game. They were replaying clips of the wedding, quoting the political backlash, arguing about language, debating culture, asking whether the Super Bowl should stay neutral or reflect the changing face of the country. All of that from a 15-minute concert. So here's the real question. What do we actually want from these huge national stages? Something safe and familiar, or something bold that challenges expectations? Because you can't have both. When an artist chooses authenticity, it will always resonate deeply with some people and completely alienate others. That tension is unavoidable, and maybe that tension is exactly why we keep watching. At the end of the day, this wasn't just about one singer or one night. It was about identity, visibility, and who gets to stand at the center of the spotlight. The performance tried to end on a message about love and unity, but ironically, it may have shown just how divided everyone already is, and maybe that's what made it unforgettable. Because long after the lights went out, one thing was clear. The halftime show wasn't just entertainment anymore. It was a mirror. And depending on who you are, you either liked what you saw or you really didn't.